Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to make a quick video here, sort of just talking about some of the books that really got me into reading about 18 months ago, maybe coming up on 2 years now since I started this reading hobby of mine. And as you can see, the bookshelves behind me, there's one off camera right here. Maybe it's turned into more than just a simple hobby, and these are a couple of the books I have here that really got me into reading. But before we jump into things, just wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone here. Definitely seen a whole lot of support for my first couple of videos. I really do appreciate it. All the likes, all the comments, even a couple of subscriptions thrown in there as well. So really thank you guys. This has been such a fun journey, posting my first couple of videos here. No expectations. I'm sort of going, shooting from the hip here. So I appreciate all the love and support. But without further ado, with further ado, maybe a little update into what I'm currently reading as well. If you watched the past couple of videos, been chugging my way through The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. About 30% of the way into this, and I'm slowing down a bit, but it's for good reason. See, when this book came out in 1842, it was in a more serialized format, meaning that one chapter was published via the newspaper every couple of days for a time span of about 20 months. This was for one of two reasons, I believe. First one being that binding and printing books was very expensive back then, and something only that the sort of higher up people could do. So in an effort to get the most amount of people reading his work, Alexander Dumas, serialized his novel in the newspaper. And the second reason being that more people were able to read his work, obviously, and he was able to sort of develop the story more as he wrote it over a longer period of time. And that's definitely noticeable. It does get maybe bogged down a bit, and it goes on to tangents into various side characters, a bit more than sort of the average novel. But as you can see, this is not the average novel. So enjoying my time with this, but I think I'm slowing down, maybe reading a chapter or two a day in the name of reading it in that serialized format, how it was originally published. And I think I'm liking it a bit better reading it that way. Now, on to a couple of the books that got me into reading. We'll kick things off here, as I'm sure this book may be a favorite of some of you, maybe even the book that got some of you into reading in the first place. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and the whole Harry Potter series in general, I believe. I've read this first book, maybe 10 times, and I've seen the movies probably twice as many as that, all through all 8 movies, and I've read all 7 books probably 5 or 6 times up until this point in my life. But I just reread these, like I said, just a little under 2 years ago, and this really got me into reading as a hobby. I sort of forgot some of the nuance of the story, and yes, it is a kid's book and it's rather short, and so you kind of fly through it. You can definitely, this is one of those books you could read in a day if you really put your mind to it. And everyone knows the story, obviously, so it wasn't like there were any major surprises, but I forgot some of the nuance of the writing and some of the foreshadowing that is, it foreshadows some events in the 7th book, even here in the 1st. And I thought it was fascinating. I picked up a couple of things reading it for the 5th or 6th time this last go around. So not a whole lot needs to be said about this book, an absolute classic, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and the whole Harry Potter series in general. Next up, this is a very popular book and was sort of at the peak of its popularity when I picked it up about 18 months ago. That is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is sort of a Greek, I don't want to say retelling, but maybe it is in essence sort of a retelling about Achilles and his maybe friend, pseudo lover, or full-on lover, Patroclus. It's a very heartwarming and heart-wrenching book at the same time. It's a love and war story. If that sort of sounds up your boat, up your alley, give this one a shot. This was very, very good. This is the first thing I read after the Harry Potter series to get me into reading as a hobby, and I could not put this down. So much so that I nearly, and I'm still thinking about potential tattoo of one of the lines towards the end of this novel here. No spoilers will be shed when I say it, but the line towards the back of the book, I forget what page exactly it's on, but the line is this and this and this. Simple, but if you know, you know. That is The Song of Achilles. All right, switching gears a bit, my first dip into the sci-fi genre. Similar to The Song of Achilles, very, very popular when it was sort of drawing up attention on the internet, and it's still very popular now, especially with the 7th book coming out presumably this year, Red God. This is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And this is, take Hunger Games mixed with Star Wars, maybe a bit mixed with Percy Jackson, and you get this book. It sort of has elements of all the best storyline tropes that you could want, and it's a rather short book as well, similar to The Song of Achilles, so you can fly through this as well, and I was sort of gripped by it the whole way around, and read the first 3 books in the series, Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, in that order, back to back to back. And it was insane. There's a lot of lines that really stuck out and are very quotable. There's a lot of like TikTok or YouTube edits about the various characters. There are a lot of lovable characters as well. May need to reread the first 3 before the 7th book comes out, because I have yet to read books 4, 5, and 6 yet. And like I said, I read these probably 18 months ago. So a refresher of the story is definitely something I'm looking forward to. So yeah, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. If you have not given this a read, now is the time, because the 7th book, hopefully, fingers crossed, is coming out sometime this year. All right, next on the list, sort of the first classic book I was read, actually recommended by my mom, who's always reading something and has been since I could remember. That is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. If you're unfamiliar with the story, it tells the tale of a father and a son as they make their way down this very treacherous road in post-apocalyptic America, and it deals with all the horrors that they face. Won't go into too much detail there, but there's a couple of scenes that truly stick out as some of the more creepy scenes I've ever read in a book. I wouldn't say it's a scary book per se, but definitely up there on the creep factor. If you have not read this book, it is an interesting read. I haven't read anything like it since. It's very stream of consciousness-esque. You don't really know who's saying what, as there's no quotation marks and not a whole lot of punctuation in this book. You basically figure out who is saying what and who is talking to who based on what they're saying. Sounds harder than it is, but you'll pick it up because the main 2 characters are a son and a father, and not many other people speak in this book. So once you figure out sort of who's who, this one is a good one. That is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Last but not least here, I've sort of mentioned this author, this YouTuber here in one of my previous videos, someone who got me into reading and sort of showed me the nonfiction side of things. That is Beau Miles with his book, The Backyard Adventurer. This is an Australian author and YouTuber. He makes sort of outdoorsy videos. I've linked his channel down below my previous video, but his YouTube channel is just this, Bo Miles, so look him up. He's got some good stuff. I think he's sitting around 750,000 subscribers, so he knows what he's doing. And essentially, the precipice of this book is when he was in his sort of adventurous years, much like myself here, in his early 20s. He would go on these international adventures and do things like kayak around the tip of South Africa and you know, run cross country across various mountain ranges in Australia, I guess, in his homeland, and things of that nature. But he had a child with his wife, and so he has to reimagine what it means to be an adventurer in his mind and be more localized in his fun. And this tells the story of some of the shenanigans he gets up to on his small plot of land he owns, just in his, you know, his home city in Australia, and even a couple of things outside of that scope as well, as he's having his kid and adapting to this life. It is essentially a more detailed version of each video he's ever published up until the point of him releasing this book, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I bought the book because I watched all of his videos in you know, a couple of days and wanted more, so I bought the book. Did not disappoint. Definitely give this one a shot. Watch the videos first maybe and see if it's sort of right for you. If you like his videos, especially his earlier videos, which is where this book is written on, give this a go. The Backyard Adventurer by Bo Miles. So yeah, that was that. These are the 5 books that really got me into reading here. Maybe we'll get a quick thumbnail, multitask. Perfect. I'm sure there's a good one in there somewhere. So yeah, we got Harry Potter, the whole Harry Potter series in general, the first book in particular. I guess my favorite book is the 5th book. I don't know, it's the longest book. I like it the most. I'm not too sure why. I like the 6th movie the best, so some conflicting opinions there. Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, Red Rising by Pierce Brown, The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and then The Backyard Adventurer by Bo Miles. And those were a couple of the books that got me into this reading journey as a then 22-year-old man, now 23. It's been all uphill from there. Definitely been enjoying what I'm reading. And yeah, let me know down below what are some of the books that maybe you guys started your reading journey with. We can share ideas. Maybe someone started their reading journey with a book I haven't heard of before, and I can give it a shot for sure. But yeah, that is it from you guys. I really do appreciate all the support on the first couple of videos. I think my first video is up to something ridiculous, like 350 views, which is insane. Thank you guys. It's been fun thus far, and hoping to continue this journey going forward. And yeah, with that, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Bye for now.